Hi guys, welcome to my channel. You just reached a Talk with T. I just welcomed you to the channel, but in reality, I'm welcoming myself to the channel because it's been about 3 or 4 years, I want to say, that I have recorded a video. So I'm back. I am back. A Talk with T is back and better. We're going to do bigger and better things. So let me just give you a backdrop of why I started YouTube in the first place. All those many years ago. Seemed like a lifetime ago. I started YouTube. When you do a thing, always look at your why. So my why to starting YouTube back then was because I felt like there was something missing in my life. I felt like there was something that I should have been doing. And they say do what you love, right? So I love talking. And so you got to look at it like this. Sometimes we wait to get discovered or something. And YouTube is sitting right here saying you can discover yourself. You can make yourself, put yourself out there to the world. So that was my why. My why was I wanted to share my information. I wanted to share motivation. I wanted to inspire. So I was an ordained evangelist. I have since come away from church, and one day maybe I'll do a video. I have come away from church. I have not come away from the Bible or studying the Bible, because I still do. And I no longer subscribe to the institution of organized religion. So I do fellowship at churches. So one day I'm going to come and I'm going to talk about that, my experience, right? So I'm here today, and the topic of today's video is how to make a comeback after a setback. So what's a setback? I'm glad you asked. A setback is a series of events that will interrupt the flow of things. Okay, so I'm going to tie in my whole YouTube experience. I had a setback. I was missing something in life. I love YouTube. I started the channel because, like I said, I wanted to share information and everything like that. I love YouTube. I watch so much. I probably watch YouTube more than I watch television. Okay. So I was like, I wanted to be a part of the community. I wanted to be a part of this greatness that goes on over here. So I go to the park one day. I shoot a video with my little raggedy little phone, and I upload it right then and there. My setback was my channel was horrible. The content in and of itself was good. It was just that my lighting was horrible because I was shooting in the car, and there's nothing wrong with shooting in the car. I was shooting on my lunch break. I didn't know anything. I didn't know about, I'm trying not to give away the steps. 5 easy steps to making a comeback after a setback. So that was my setback. I wanted this thing so bad, but then I dropped the ball. It was grand opening and then grand closing, okay? So now it's like, this is a setback. What do you do? That brings me to tip number 1. Tip number 1 is assess where you are and how did you get here. Come to terms with it and just accept that you can't undo what was already done. So how did I get to this horrible channel? 1 is I just jumped out the ledge. I just wanted to do YouTube, and I learned this when I reevaluated it. I learned this about myself. I learned that I'm either gonna not do something, or when I do it, I'm just gonna do it like that. So I had to look at it. So what's wrong with the channel? So I'm assessing it now, right? That's step number 1. Assess where you are. Like I forestated, the lighting is horrible. The channel, I'm shooting in the car. I got noise behind me. I got you know what my biggest thing was? My biggest thing was it was the thumbnails. I had no idea YouTube will catch you. Like, it was a mess, and I felt defeated. I felt so defeated, and which is crazy because I would get excited, go to my car on my lunch, eat my little sandwich real fast. What Bernie Mac said, you know, black people and white people sitting at the job eating a little cheese sandwich. I'm sitting there eating my little cheese sandwich and everything. And then I'll rush to the car and I'll shoot these videos. But the talking part made me happy. It was the finished product. So assessing it was like, these videos need help. I had asked my son, you know, a couple of times, oh, could you help me out? I asked my daughter. She showed me how to use Canva. But I'm not the type of learner where I have to hands-on do it myself, figure it out. She was showing me, she moving fast. You know, millennials, she moving all fast. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, this is going to help me. This ain't really going to help me, child. This ain't going to help me. This just going to make you feel good because you helped your little old mama, you know. That ain't helped me. I was sitting there looking like a deer in headlights. And I just was like, you know, this technology stuff, you know, sometimes you just wish things could be how they were. But then that's not, you know, then that takes away from what the world is. So assessing the videos were horrible. The channel was horrible. I didn't plan to do the YouTube. I just did it. So there was no promotion. I just figured, shoot the video. I got about 1,000 friends on Facebook. This was before I got on Instagram. I'm new to Instagram. And they're going to watch it because everybody likes to hear me talk. Everybody didn't want to hear. I'm sending the videos to people who I see not that active on Facebook. And I'm like, you know, watch this, watch this. So then I felt defeated. I'm defeated because of thumbnails. I'm defeated because of nobody's watching. You know, I'm defeated because the lighting is bad. I'm defeated that I'm sitting in the car. So that was my assessment of it. So now that brings me, you see me looking down because I got notes this time, honey. So that brings me to step number 2. After you assess, how did I get here? You got to be like Deborah Cox. How did I get here? I'm not supposed to be here. You know, so I assessed it. These videos are horrible. The channels, you know, nobody's watching. That's my assessment. So then, but step 2 is accountability. Own your stuff. I couldn't blame nobody that my daughter was doing everything fast. I couldn't blame my son because he didn't have time ever to help his mother. You know, I couldn't do all that. I had to own my stuff. And owning my stuff, I had to sit back and look at it and say, where you went wrong at was you didn't properly prepare. Where I went wrong at, my accountability was like, this was my desire. Your passion is good, but you preparing should match your passion. So when you have a love of a thing and you have this passion for a thing, prepare for the thing on the same level of passion. Your preparation should be on the same level of passion. I hope y'all see where I'm going with that. So I had to own my stuff. I jumped out on the ledge. I tried to shoot. I did these videos. They were horrible. This was my fault. That's it. Can't blame nobody. There's no blame game in this tribe. We don't blame anyone for our shortcomings. We assess it and then we show accountability, okay? So that leads me to my 3rd step. Again, we got 5 simple steps and I want you to hang out with me to the end of the video. And if you do, there's a bonus. So my 3rd step is get a game plan. So I want to come back to YouTube and I'm serious now. So T, what are you going to do? I came up with a game plan. So my game plan was prepare. You know, I sat one day prior to me even announcing I was coming back to YouTube. I sat with Canva, sat with my phone, and I downloaded Canva and I played around with it. So what I learned was I can do thumbnails. And I did some for some of the old videos. And so I played around with that. Part of my plan was I want to be able to put up thumbnails. The other part of the plan is I want to promote the channel prior to me coming back. So again, on Canva, which is an excellent tool, and no, you child, y'all know they not sponsoring me because I'm just coming back. This is not sponsored, but I got to give credit where it's due. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing around with the little, templates, and I started promoting the relaunch. So I'm like, wow. So one day I did an invitation. I saw an invitation, and it was you are invited to the relaunch of A Talk with T. And I just put the picture, and I said the date, and I said what the channel is about: information, motivation, empowerment. So I did that. So that was part of my game plan. The other part of my game plan was I joined I was actually always a part of some small YouTube groups, but I found some for the the melanin community, the black and brown people. This is geared more towards helping us. Why not? So I joined those. So I started engaging with people on those groups on Facebook to get knowledge from them. So that was part of my game plan. Getting advice like, do y'all think it's too late? I've been going for so long. I got so much encouragement, and shout out to them, those groups. They are awesome. And part of the game plan of being in the group is this is going to help me stay motivated. This is going to help me stay I don't want to get the next tip away, but this is going to help me. So I might as well just go to the next tip. So step number 4, be consistent. So once I came up with the game plan and I came up with the date to relaunch for October 29th, I said, you got to be consistent. So part of my consistency, and this going to tie in with the game plan, I got this little handy dandy notebook so I can write down topics. So being consistent with the topics, every night before I go to bed, I come up with a topic. The next day, probably, I will do a little research on the topic because, I just want to know that I know that I know. So I'm consistent. So I said to myself, I'm going to give myself a little over a month to promote the channel, to promote the relaunch. And in my consistency with it, every other day, I did a flyer. I did announcements. I put it on both my social media, Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, I'm new to Instagram, and then I saw that the same people who, when I was uploading the old videos saying, y'all check me out on YouTube, just click this, that, and the third, like, comment, and subscribe. When I was doing all that, they weren't watching. But now that I promoted it and I was consistent with the promoting, I had so much good feedback, like, oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this. I'm proud of you. So that right there made me know, keep going, stick to it. And for over a month, I posted every other day. So every other day I posted. That's part of my consistency. The other part is every day I made sure I learned something from the small YouTube groups. I studied it like it was. I read the posts. I read the feedback. I read the suggestions. I'm on my break at work. I'm jotting stuff down, because I want to do it. And even though I'm a little skeptical about editing, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going until I perfect that. Okay, so be consistent. You want to make this comeback after this setback, after this thing has interrupted your plan, after this thing have come up and interrupted your goal, after this thing have felt like it done pulled the rug from underneath you. Want to come back. Consistency is so important. Stay consistent no matter what you're doing. No matter what you're doing, you stay consistent. You get your game plan and you stay consistent with it. That leads me to step number 5. These are the 5 simple things that I did in order to get the nerve to come back and talk to this wonderful YouTube community. It's to stay positive. Just stay positive. Your mindset, your attitude determines your altitude. Your attitude about a thing, if you're looking down about it, if you're feeling sad about it, if you're speaking negative over it, that's the outcome you're going to get. Your mind frame stays in a positive state, it will lead you to doing things to move towards the positive. It will push you to positive action. It's all in how you see a thing. So I'm reminded right here of this story about how you see things. You can see the glass half empty, you can see it half full. There were 2 prisoners, and they were locked in their cell about 23 hours. And they stayed up all night because something was going on in the prison. Both prisoners are looking out the window. One prisoner looks up at the sun is coming out, and he says, wow, look how beautiful that is. It lets me know I'm alive. The other prisoner looks down at the concrete and said, look at that hard concrete. Look at the mud over there. Look at the garbage. So he picked out everything negative. So the first prisoner who saw the sun, he had a positive mindset. He said, I'm going to look at this thing and I'm going to see, I'm in jail, but I'm going to see something good. And if you can be incarcerated physically, but not mentally, you win it. And we are out here with our freedom, then surely we can look at things with a positive perspective. Remember, your attitude determines your altitude. At one point or another, trying to make this comeback, I was saying, I'm a woman of a particular age. I'm 50. Plus tax. So I'm like, maybe it's no space for me. Again, I'm not tech savvy. Maybe people my age shouldn't, That I said, I got out my head real fast. I got out my head quick, fast, and in a hurry. And then one day I was on my channel and I saw a message from one of my few subscribers. And she said, where has this lady been? That shifted me right then and there. I said, don't ever sit too long in that pity party. You got something to say. YouTube is going to be the avenue and the platform for you to say it. And you're going to do the thing, Like I'm a natural orator. I said I was in church. I was an ordained evangelist. I wasn't the best preacher in the world, but even in my nervousness, I would get up and deliver. This is what you want me to talk about. This is what I'm going to talk about. And I didn't preach every Sunday. I probably had the opportunity to preach maybe once or twice a month, something like that, So I know I'm a natural orator. I'm trying to watch what I say because remember I said I don't know about the editing part, but I am a natural orator. I always talked a lot. Like as a kid, my mother used to be like, please, I'll pay you to shut up. So I know me and I know this is one of my gifts. I got a couple other gifts and this is one of them. So that's what drives me here. That's my why. I know this is what I'm okay at and I know I can get better with the technology part. So stay positive. And because you hung out with a Talk with T for this long, you get the bonus tip. The bonus tip is simple. It's never get up. Understand that failure could be the catalyst to your success. Anybody who's ever done anything successful, and especially the people that we know, Thomas Edison, the light bulb, I think 1,000 tries. And somebody said, I can't believe you still at it. And he said, I just know 999 ways not to do it. He never gave up. He never gave up. You have to push through. Giving up in this day and time with the times that we're living in and we don't know what tomorrow going to bring, giving up and throwing in the towel should never be an option. It shouldn't be an option. I understand times get hard. I understand things happen. I understand all of that stuff. And sometimes you can pause. It's okay to pause. Don't pause for 4 years like I did. Especially with something that you love. Especially with something you have this passion for. 4 years, that's a scandal and a shame. We'll never be going that long again. No, we won't. Just keep at it. So I want to wrap it up. I don't want the video to be too long, but I'm super excited for what's to come. I got some super great topics. Every time I posted a flyer, every time I posted an invitation, I got people in my inbox. Could you talk about this? Could you talk about that? And so, of course, like I said, part of me getting a plan and being consistent, I wrote topics and stuff down. So our 5 simple steps. How to make a comeback after a setback. How a talk with teammate is making her comeback using just these 5 steps. 1, you want to assess where you are and how you got there. You do that so you don't go back. You look at how you got here so you don't ever travel that road again. So you keep that in your mind. You check that thing out and be like, nah, sis, I don't want that no more. I want better. Okay? So you assess where you are. You be accountable. Own your stuff. Own your stuff. Own your stuff. Hey, I put the videos up. They weren't good. It was my fault. I didn't take the time to learn, like I'm doing now. Get a game plan. Part of my game plan, and I didn't mention this earlier, but it's always good to recap. Part of my game plan is I downloaded an ebook on how to grow your channel from this young lady who's awesome, and I watch her every day. And I watch her before I watch the news. Ain't that something? Because she's going to tell you all this. I found her during the pandemic. She's going to tell you all this stuff. So I downloaded the book. So part of my game plan was to get more information. Again, like I get from the groups, to get more information. Part of the game plan. Assess where you are. Be accountable. Get a game plan. Be consistent. Don't stop. Don't let nothing stop you. Remain positive. Bonus tip number 6. Never give up. And if you do these things, and quite naturally, there are other ways, but this is what I use to come back, to make the comeback to a talk with T. I want to dance about it because I'm happy. I'm going to edit that out. Or maybe not. So this is how I decided to come back. I didn't want to just jump out the window. I did planning this time. I got me a ring light. I got me an iPhone. I got me a microphone. You know what I mean? Because I'm taking it serious. So anything, as long as you are alive, you can come back from anything. I use YouTube, and that might be, something minute. Somebody might say, oh, I got bigger fish I'm frying. You can come back from it. So again, you've reached the Talk with T. I appreciate you tuning in. I got more to come. This channel is about information, motivation, and definitely empowerment. Do me a favor. Help me grow the channel. Share the video. Rate it. Like it. Comment. Share it. And don't forget to subscribe. And hit that notification button for when I come back. Because your girl going to upload every week. Okay? So until next time, I'll see y'all later.